Hello, I'm Stefan from Germany. I live in the UK with my family, 2 kids, 17 and 19. And yeah, I'm here in Chiang Mai on a wonderful retreat with Justin and his team. Okay, well, so I've always been overweight since childhood, really, and obese overweight. But with the COVID pandemic, this has become far, far worse. So I've put loads on weight on top of already unbearable weight in the last 2 years. And it came to a point where I thought, if I don't do something now, I can easily see myself die within 2 or 3 years. For the first time in my life, I was anxious that I might not live. And it was a very scary moment. Now, don't get me wrong, I've tried to lose weight before, sometimes successfully. I put it back on. And I guess the reason for that is that I never sort of found anything that was sustainable. And so I was looking for something that A, would take this very scary moment away from me of fearing not to live, but also I was keen to find something that I could maintain once I'm leaving. The history of me losing weight is all about trying certain kinds of diets, usually restricting one particular ingredient, such as carbs, such as fat, such as just the sugar, particularly from sweets. Yeah. And as I said, you know, that can be successful to some degree, but it was always time limited. I never felt I could actually keep going with what I did. So it's okay not to eat carbs for 2 months, but what do you do afterwards? It's okay to reduce fat, but is it a joy? You know, and sugar is a tricky one. Anyway, so at times I then reverted to what's a full water fast, so nothing but water and healthy teas. The longest I've done was a 30-day fast, and I was really successful with that, so I lost 30 kilos. And to be honest, it took quite a while to put it back on. But of course, no fast in the world is sustainable. You can't just continue to fast, especially when you're working, especially when you're raising a family. It's just not realistic. And so whilst I certainly profited from that, it was never a long-term solution. So yeah, and it's part of the reason why the last 2 years have been so difficult, because I had tried so much. I pretty much tried everything that you are being presented with in the media, in good books. So it came to a point where I'd given up. I said, you know, I might want to lose weight, but I don't know how to anymore, so I might as well not. Until it got scary. Until I couldn't bend my shoes anymore. Until a flight of stairs was the maximum I could go. Until my sleep got more and more disrupted and I didn't get enough oxygen in my sleep. Yeah, so, you know, so I was, yeah, looking for something else. So, weight loss for men in Thailand is something that I researched before I came. I didn't have a recommendation. I Googled weight loss retreats all over the world. Started with the UK, Germany, obviously very, very expensive. And also with a program that I knew wasn't for me. Most of these were boot camp wise, nothing I ever would aspire to. It's entirely unrealistic in terms of trying to do a boot camp and work at the same time. So what I was looking for was something where I could continue to work, something that I could take home, but also something that would drive my weight quite significantly down. I believe in strong beginnings. It's important to build a foundation and a good base for long-term weight. You can't sort of have 200 kilograms as I did. I had 202 when I came, and drive that down half kilo a time. Well, you can, but it'll take you years. Yeah. So I decided that I wanted a good start a head start to then try something that was maintainable. And it's exactly all the things I wanted were ticked by this program. I mean, you know, it helps that you're in lush weather, in a lush country with greens in all shades. It's a beautiful culture. People are extremely friendly here in Thailand. The food is gorgeous. It's it's not second to none. It's the best. Best I've ever had. And I'm a cook. You know, I like to cook. I've always cooked in my life. I know how to cook healthy, but to get the fresh ingredients and get all this good stuff is wonderful. It's good to do this program with men. Other blokes who struggle to various degrees. You know, don't get me wrong, there's some people as heavy as I. Other people come with much less, but they still need to lose a lot in order to live a healthy life. And what I found most useful in the 2 months, 8 weeks I spent here were the good advice, the guidance that I got from Justin and his team, Will mainly. We obviously spend a lot of time together, and in that time there comes natural discussions about how to live, how to be, how to eat, how to exercise as well. And it's been really, really good. It's, you know, you could call it pep talks, but they're pep talks with substance. There's something in there. And I would consider myself fairly well educated on food and on nutrition and on exercise. But there was loads of stuff that I learned here. But I can still, you know, obviously the conversations we're having on, you know, after 2 months resemble the conversations on the first day. However, it's still good to keep being reminded of how simple it actually is to lose weight, and how important it is to do that. Not only for, you know, obviously looking better and feeling lighter, but it's about longevity. It's about trying to maintain your flexibility, your strength, the time that you want to spend for yourself, but also with your family. I was worried that I was going to die. After 60 days here, I'm no longer worried that I'm going to die. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So, yes, it's been the absolute right program for me. I knew it would be, but, you know, sometimes you're disappointed when you arrive and it's all a bit different than the pretense. But no, this is exactly ticked all of my boxes, and I'm extremely grateful. It's been the best decision I've made in the last 10 years. When it comes to my personal health and the way I need to be, I need to live. I found a way to eat lush, not to have to count calories. It's ridiculous to do that. But also to listen to my body, to actually be in tune of what's going on inside, and to listen to that and to respond to that. You know, we all know when we're bloated and full, and then we still keep eating. To actually not do that, and to sort of say until here no further. And actually, I'm so much more enjoying that. It's beautiful, and there comes a power and a strength and a control with that I will take home, and I'm looking forward to, you know, to the next bit. So just to let you know, 1.5 weeks before I came, I weighed 202 kilograms, and I'm now I'm missing half a kilo, but I'm nearly on 165. Yeah, so we're talking a 37 kilogram loss. I was here 8 weeks, in about altogether 9 weeks. My fasting that I did in the past was as successful, but not maintainable. What I'm doing here, I can do for the next 20 years. It's not a problem. I googled this place about 2.5 years for the first time. I spoke to the blokes back then, and I was nearly on a plane. And at the time, I didn't allow myself to make this investment in myself, because I had children who were in critical phases in school and college. And in hindsight, I should have come then, because, you know, it's all about getting better, feeling better, and living life to the fullest with your family, really. And I could have had that earlier. However, I did it now, and I was skeptical. I was skeptical about, you know, is this actually a true place? You know, am I sort of paying a lot of money and not getting anything out of it? I was worried that this is just another diet thing where you sort of reduce a particular food group and that's that. I've done all this. I fasted before. You know, this is not something that I wanted. I wanted something different. And so if you want something different, this is the place to come. I'm not the only one. I've spent the time here with 4, 5, 6 different blokes, depending on, you know, coming and going at different times. And they all have miraculous change going on, all of them. There's not an exception. So really, if you're at the end of the tether and you want to make some changes that are good and maintainable, then this is the place to come.